Vegan mashed potatoes and gravy? Look, I'm not a vegan, but I am a chef. It's my obligation to cater to all diets. Check out this video. So here's what we got for ingredients. We got our vegan bacon, flour, garlic, vegan butter, unsweet rice milk, and our russet potatoes. So for our first step, what you want to do is grab the pot you're going to cook the potatoes in. You're going to fill the pot just about quarter of the way. Enough water in there to just barely cover the potatoes. As soon as you peel your potato, you always place it directly into water because it will start to oxidize and it's going to change the color of the potato. So that's why I have it all set, ready to go. Now cut the potatoes and try to get the same size as close as possible. As they cook, they'll cook uniformly. You don't want to have too big of chunks and small chunks. One's going to cook more than the other. So we're going to cut these down and get a rough estimate about the same size, just like that. Alright, so now we're going to cut our vegan bacon. We're going to cut them into lardons. What are lardons? These are lardons right here. The reason why we're cutting them like this is because this is going to go into our gravy and we don't want to have huge chunks. So check out how much water I have, just enough to cover the potatoes. We're gonna go ahead and add a pinch of salt to that. Always add some salt in there, it'll help season up the potato. Alright, so we're gonna bring these up to a boil. Once they start to boil, you're gonna lower your temperature and you're gonna go a nice low simmer. Once all the water is completely evaporated, the potatoes will be fully cooked. Should take about 30 minutes. Now the reason why we do it this way is so that we're not dumping any of that starch out of the water. A lot of people, what they do is they put the potatoes in, they cook the potatoes down, and then they dump the excess water out. And what you're actually doing is you're dumping out all your flavor. So this is the proper way to make mashed potato. Alright, while your potatoes are going, I have roughly a cup of rice milk in this. We're not going to use it all. Get that heated up. Alright, now we're going to go ahead, we're going to start building our gravy. So you want to place your bacon in the pan, and then we're going to start building our roux. Go ahead, add a little bit of vegan butter. I put about a half of a teaspoon or tablespoon in there, and we'll let all that cook down. Alright, so I took my whisk and I just broke down all the little pieces, so now we have some nice little bacon bits. After about 4 minutes, you get that nice browning on the bacon. We're going to start building our roux now. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our butter in there. Equal parts flour to butter is our roux, and the roux is going to help thicken our gravy. So you melt the butter down, and then we're going to slowly whisk in our flour. And there you go, about 20 minutes, all the water's fully evaporated, potatoes are completely cooked. So once your flour is completely incorporated, we're gonna go ahead and slowly start to whisk in our rice milk. And just slowly do it so all the temperatures come together. You don't wanna have huge clumps of flour. We're just gonna slowly whisk that in. Once you have it back to a liquid state, go ahead and we're going to cook this for about 30 minutes to get that flour taste out. As it's cooking, it's going to naturally get more thick. So about 30 minutes, continuously stir at first. The first 10 minutes are crucial because that flour is going to try to stick to the edge of the pan. So continuously stir for the first 10 minutes. Now's a great time, give it a taste and adjust your seasoning accordingly. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt and a little bit of black pepper. Now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna finish off our potatoes. If you have a KitchenAid, we're gonna use a KitchenAid, or if you have a hand blender, that will work just fine as well. Make sure your potatoes are hot. We're gonna add the hot potatoes to this. We're gonna add our butter, and then we're gonna slowly add our hot cream. It's key that everything is hot because when the potatoes are hot, the starch is open. When the potatoes get cold, the starch molecules close and they will not accept flavor as well as if they are open and hot. So make sure all your stuff is nice and hot. So when you're mixing your potatoes, a couple things to watch out for is A, make sure the potatoes are hot, make sure your cream is hot. Also, do not over mix your potato. If you over mix them, they will come out gummy. And when you're adding your cream, you want to make sure you're adding a little bit of it at a time because you don't want to have overly watery potatoes and you don't want to have stiff potatoes. So there's a nice medium balance there. So you slowly add as you go. 20 minutes later and our gravy is done. If your gravy is a little thick, you can always add just a little bit of water to bring it back to that nice gravy consistency. Just a quick tip for you. Let's go ahead and start plating this. There it is, 100% vegan mashed potatoes and gravy. Sexy. So we're gonna peel and place in the pan. No, we're not. We're gonna cut all that in. Now I'm all pissed off. Thanks. We're gonna go ahead and cook this. Keep going. So we're gonna reduce this. Always add salt in there. It adds nice. That way it adds some seasoning. Dude, what's my problem? And another thing is make sure that I forgot what I was gonna say.